Welcome to American Hammers TV. This is I guess I titled it, What's New? Doesn't really matter. I mean, the titles are nothing. We're just going to have fun tonight, and hopefully there's people, I see there's people in chat, but if you're watching us on Facebook or Periscope, comment, and hopefully we'll pull up your comments and we can shoot the shit together. But really what I'm going to do is I Googled West Ham on my phone and sorted the items by date, and we'll just run through them and shoot the shit about the news, fake or not, rehashed or not, or whatever. Just have some fun. First things first, I do gotta thank everybody who has been doing shows on the network. Really appreciate it. If you notice, I haven't been on as much as I used to because I enjoy letting other people do stuff on this channel. And obviously, I get to sit back and enjoy it just as much as you all do. So it's a lot of fun. So anyway, it's helped us get through this bullshit time, so I got to really, thank, the people that hammered out and hammer shots and, the Wednesday show with Lee and everybody, and the Trading Irons show, which took over for the, the post-match show and so on. But just so everybody knows, when the season kicks back off, my English no good tonight, but when the season kicks off again, we have a lot of shows coming back, just so everybody knows. So we got Hammer Shots Season 2. We got Friday Night Likes. So if anybody watching wants to compete on that, on either of the shows or both, send me a message. Let me know so I can get you on a little list, and then we can figure out, we can sort everything out, make it happen. What else is there? AmericanHammers.net. We do have merchandise for sale, including masks, including a whole bunch of.
Uh-oh. We got a whole bunch of what?
Wally, I've got a quick question for you. What's your burger toppings of choice?
No.
Oh, Tim's back. Tim's
back. Okay. We can't talk.
Whole bunch of stuff. Bottom line, whole bunch of stuff. I don't know what the hell's going on tonight. Anyway, no, Rebecca. No, he's not taking over. Not right now. Maybe later. But so anyway, just check out the website, please. It would be really cool if you did. Even if you don't buy anything, just take a look. And again, thanks to everybody who's been doing shows and sticking with us. Also, thanks to everybody who's been liking the videos. Feel free to hit the like button. Also, the people who've been subscribing, I appreciate it. And if you're watching us on Periscope or Facebook, head on over to YouTube, click the subscribe button. All right, anyway, first item of news. Oh, and thanks to Charlie and Wally here. Thank you guys for joining me tonight.
Sorry, Anna.
The first one says, you ready for this? West Ham United want to rid of 1,000 pound a week Jack Wilshere. Can you fucking believe it? Charlie.
You say
say £1,000 a week or 100,000?
100K a week.
Keep him. Oh, 100K. Oh, okay.
I don't see why you'd keep him. I like him a lot. I think he's very good, but my man's not going to play, and we got no money. So get shot. I can't. Here's the thing. Come on, Jace. Big plays from big flipping Jace. Lovely man, Jace. Shout out to Dan Damo and Jace. Here's the thing. No one's going to take him. So it doesn't matter what we want because he's not. He's just not going to leave because literally no one's taking him unless we cancel his contract. He's staying here until the end of his contract because how much money is actually going to get paid? It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Wally, what are your thoughts on Mr. Wilshere?
Well, for 1,000 pounds, I'd keep him. He can, clean the showers or something like that, and do the laundry. He's an expert with washing machine. But if it's 100,000, then
if he gave back 99K a week, you'd be okay with it.
Yeah, he can be like a laundry attendant, So, but for 100,000, I think he just has this year left, basically, right? And boy, if we could get rid of him, that would be great. Get that off the books, the wage. but I don't really see that happening. So unfortunately, I think we're probably stuck with him.
Yeah, and again, just like Rebecca says, you know, there's no point to him, but he won't leave. He's getting easy money here. Yeah, no shit. It's crazy, but this is again one of those stories where it looks like somebody, what is it, the Times? Yeah, that is just coming up with some bullshit for us, you know. And it's my fault for bringing it up, but that's what tonight's all about. I'm bringing up a whole bunch of.
I don't think it's necessarily bullshit. It's probably true. And like realistically, you can see a situation in which David Sullivan goes up to the Times and goes, "Guys, we might want to get rid of Jack Wilshere." Like, you can see that. You can see that situation happening to try and drum up interest. But let's be real. There's no interest is being drummed up.
Not unless we pay half his salary to somebody, or even more. You know, unless we eat it. You know.
And we're not going to pay this idea of us paying salaries is not happening. Look, unless we loan a player out, we're not paying salaries for him. It's the same thing with Hugo, right? And I'll take my Hugo specs on for a second. It's the same thing with Hugo. As much as we want to talk about Hugo going to the championship and maybe we might pay their salary, blah, blah, blah. It's not happening. David Sullivan is not paying money for a player he doesn't have. Unless it's a loan. And a loan potentially, but I can't see it happening. I can't see it happening.
Yeah. Neither could I. The next one's from our good friends over at Green Street Hammers. We do like those people. They've been on our show before. I know Wally's met one of them. Mr. Jeremiah Carson.
Yes, good guy. Great guy.
Their latest article says, West Ham's Allaire showing determination to right some wrongs. Without getting into the article, you guys got to head on over to Fansided or Green Street Hammers to read the full thing, but because they're good friends of ours and we want them to have traffic too. So you buy it. You buy that Allaire wants to right some wrongs here with us. Mr. Wally, we'll start with you, then go back.
Yeah, I think he's got to realize that he hasn't done the greatest job here. He probably felt under pressure being such a high, you know, how much we paid for him, everything. So I would hope that, you know, he just his competitive instinct would be to like, yeah, I really want to show what I can do in the Premier League. And, you know, once again, I don't think we can sell him for what we anywhere near what we paid for him. So that makes me happy to hear that if he does want to do that, you know, because there was a lot of times where he just seemed to be, you know, strolling around, not really putting in the effort. And, you know, if you compare him up front to when Antonio's up there, you know, as long as Antonio's not like exhausted, he's really putting in the hard work.
Yeah.
So, you know, and in fact, you know, having Antonio starting since most of the matches since the restart, and, you know, Hallaire's been on the bench, you know, hopefully that has like been like, hey, come on, you know, this guy who's, you know, you know, I got to prove myself better than, you know, Antonio. Because,
exactly. Great point. No, I mean, I believe that. I think that, you know, it's just me, obviously. I believe I would be embarrassed. I mean, if I was him, and to have someone like a winger show me up on my own club, or not just that, but be embarrassed of my own. I mean, I don't buy that he was really injured this restart. I really don't. Again, it's one of those things where he is the big money man. He was the face at the beginning of the season. Mm-hmm. You know, he's our next Henry. You know, not next Henry. I mean, our Henry. You know, and he hasn't shown that at all. I mean, he had some sick goals and some nasty passes and really cool stuff he's shown, but not consistently. So I would personally, if I was him, be embarrassed, and I'd want to show everybody up, you know, this season coming up. But Charlie, what are your thoughts?
I think he's been all right, man. I think he's been decent. You know, he's like I feel like when we look at it as West Ham fans, we look at 45 million and we expect like Aguero. We expect that, but that's not what that gets you, right? Like we have to look at it and we say, okay, well, here's a guy who has done incredibly well everywhere he's been apart from West Ham. At West Ham, he's been all right. Like he's not been bad. I disagree with everyone there. I think he's got for someone who's been played in a system he's not good in, and he's been completely isolated. He's not had the right players around him. All of this other things to still be our second top goal scorer and only be second top because this kid scored 4 in a single game. Like that's ever going to happen ever again.
True.
Like he's been all right. He's been okay. I don't think he has anything really to prove, to be perfectly honest with you. Like I look at him and I think, if he's put in the right system, it works. Like when he was played in the right system this year, it worked. He was great. Yeah. It's just about putting him in that more. And it's kind of ridiculous for us to pay so much money and then expect him to be Aguero or whatever, you know?
Yeah, we expect him to score 4 goals.
Yeah.
Sure, but instead of scoring 4 in one, how about scoring a couple in a couple? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Scoring 4 against Norwich is nothing. And let's be real, Antonio was very lucky that day to get 4. but that's beside the point. Like,
it was the bottom. The team, the worst team in the fucking Premier League. But
yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like I feel like we do this every time we get a big. We break our transfer record.
Yeah.
We set our expectations way, way, way too high. And we have to look at it realistically and say, well, if we're not playing the guy in the right system, then he's not going to bloody succeed, is he?
Yeah.
Right.
You're right. I think that's enough on that one. We're going to go to the next one. This is from The Mirror, my favorite website, mirror.co.uk. West Ham told Declan Rice, if Harry Maguire is worth 80 million, then so is he. Charlie, you go first.
Declan Rice isn't worth £80 million. He's Harry Maguire's a better centre back than Declan Rice. But here's the thing, right? Declan Rice has obviously got a lot more potential than Harry Maguire, and that's what he's getting sold for. He's getting sold for that English money thing, like it always is. Declan Rice has been very, very good, and if you're looking at any English player moving in this transfer window, like arguably the only one who's going to go for a bigger fee than him would be Jadon Sancho, and that's both because it's stupid potential. Yeah, I don't know. I find it a bit mad. I don't think either of them are worth 80, but I do think Harry Maguire is very, very good. But that's a side note for another time. Yeah, I don't know. He's not worth 80, and he won't go for 80.
No, get the fuck out.
Yeah,
I love it though. That's funny. Deck is priceless. I mean, it depends. It depends on the scenario. Again, if it was if he played for Norwich, right, and they were the worst team in the fucking league, but he was their guy, and they got relegated. You think that there would be talk of, this Norwich player, Declan Rice, he's worth even 50 million. Maybe it's just because he's West Ham that we're looking at it that way. But if it was with another club and being sold, I don't know.
I do think that the biggest problem we're going to get with the money thing is that other clubs don't rate him as highly as us, and I don't mean it in a sense of like Rebecca just said he's priceless to us. In the sense of they just don't think he's as good as we think he's as good as, and part of that problem is that on the international stage he's never performed. Like he's been pretty good in England matches, but nothing special, like nothing like super. And so when you get, this is what happens a lot when you see like Tifo, right? I love Tifo. I think Tifo are a great football channel, great YouTube channel. Go check them out if you haven't. They did a video this week and they were talking about Declan Rice and how they were like iffy on him and all of this other stuff. And one of the things that they said was, if you look at him when he plays for England, and that's the eternal problem you're going to get, is in the biggest stage he's ever had, which is England, because playing for England is bigger than playing for West Ham currently, because we're not in Europe, we're not this, we're not that. He's not performed at the level we see him perform at week in, week out. Yeah. So realistically, I don't think he's probably going to leave this window because of that. I don't think anyone's going to come near our valuation of him, 80 million or otherwise. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I have to say, I think when he's played for England, it's been against lesser teams, right? And so in his defensive midfield spot, he hasn't really had to do much other than just like stop a few things and then pass the ball around. So I don't think he's had a chance to shine in the England stage yet. It's too bad they didn't have what were they going to have, the Euros this past summer? Mm-hmm. And he would have been on the team, and then maybe he would have shined against some of the top teams. And then he might be worth 80 million or something. But yeah, I don't think Harry Maguire is worth 80 million, and unfortunately, I don't think Declan Rice is either, especially because he didn't get to shine on the European stage.
That's a fair point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely a fair point. Yeah, I mean, again, I think that it's we obviously overvalue him because of what he means to the club. I mean, we as supporters, I think we slightly. I mean, I would. I mean, it would hurt to lose him for less than 60 million, to us. But and realistically, he's probably worth 40, 50. I mean, if he was on another club, I don't know. It just depends. Yeah, there's this is the next one's funny. Actually, it's not funny. Shit, maybe I shouldn't say that. Dimitri Payet test positive for coronavirus. The claim reports from France.
And you laughed, Tim.
I know, exactly. I mean, I shouldn't.
You laughed.
Well, I mean, I'm laughing at it because, I mean, says fucking who?
Because you have no heart.
No, dude, listen, I was one of the idiots that was like, no, let's bring him back every time that we're linked with him. Because I'll end up rewatching his free kicks and be like, no, we've never had anybody. We never will have anybody that can do that again. Yeah, it says that RMC Sport and Get French Football News are both reporting that the ex-West Ham Wizard has become the 5th Marseille player to test positive for COVID-19. I don't know why I brought it up. I just, when I Googled West Ham, this thing popped up. I don't really know what we can say about it. I mean, what is there to say about it? I mean, if the guy fucking has COVID, that sucks, But yeah, shit.
Wish him well and hope Marseille get their shit together, apparently, because Jesus Christ, 5? What are you doing, bruv? What are you doing?
Well, honestly, he would probably be fine because I was telling Tim earlier that my son's had the COVID, and he's probably a little bit younger than Payet, but it really wasn't bad at all for him. He barely noticed he had it. So I think for the younger people,
yeah, exactly,
especially fit athletes, they're probably going to be fine.
Yeah.
But I will say one thing. My son, even though it was very mild, he said, even when he works, this was months ago, he got it. Even when he works out now, he can still he's not like quite at the top end. You know what I mean? Like there's some, so, that's probably fine for, just normal people, but top end athletes, it may be an issue if they can't, push through that final 5%. So I hope he, just recovers completely. That would be great. So,
yeah, definitely. Again, I don't know why I fucking brought that up. So yeah, there's just report after report in here that it looks like Anderson's almost definitely going to leave. That's the whole bullshit. We're like, almost definitely, maybe, possibly. Anderson, bye-bye, Lazio, whatever. Briefly, so we don't have to spend all day, because I know every other friggin' channel and every other show we've done has talked about Anderson leaving. Let's just rephrase it, I guess. Would you keep him? How about that? If you were in charge, if you were Mr. Moyes, Wally, would you keep Anderson?
Well, I do like Anderson. I love watching him. And listen, if we got in a new left back, a quality left back, I would love to keep Anderson, because I think, as people have stated, he may be held back by having to do more on defense on the left side. And so if we had a, more reliable left back, I think we could see the real, Anderson again, coming out. And so I would like to keep him with that, proviso that we actually have a quality left back. So,
Charlie.
I mean, yes, for a start, I would keep him. I wouldn't sell him unless there was a significant money on the line. And by significant money, I'm talking 30, 35 probably ish. I don't think that I don't believe this thing about him definitely maybe leaving. I think we're just putting 2 and 2 together and getting 17 or whatever, 27 million or whatever he's going for. Because there's other players not featured in those videos, the training videos at the moment, for example, like Diop and Ogbonna and Roberto and people like that. And although there are some links, some rumors linking those people away as well, we're just looking at it and going, Anderson's not in it, and therefore he's still in Italy because he was in Italy earlier, and now he's gone. It's happening. He's leaving. Blah blah blah. Like, I don't believe it. But for a player who has would cost so much money, it would take a significant amount of time to put that deal together. So it's just, there's another reason why he's not in those videos. I don't know what it is, but there is. Would I sell him? Only if a big money move came in. He's too good. He's too good. He's too good, and he's too valuable in literal financial terms in order to just sort of let him go because we don't think he's been that great. Which, by the way, he has been. He was he was close for Hammer of the Year last year, and this year he's obviously done not as well, but he's still put up good numbers. Like,
his stats.
It's just a fact. Like,
I know there's a lot of people bitching about him not tracking back and shit like that, and apparently, like, there was stats like that were saying that no, he was tracking back a lot more than most of our wingers, really.
But people have said that from the beginning. I vividly remember from the first couple of games, right? And this isn't a criticism of Gonzo or Mike of Mondays. It's not a criticism of either of those people, obviously. But I remember having conversations with them first couple of games of the first season he was here, so last season. And they were like, oh, he doesn't track back enough. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's basically halfway down the pitch the whole game. I don't know what you want here.
Why don't we swap him with Masuaku? Train him to the left.
I just get Masuaku on.
Maybe.
Put Masuaku in the wing and keep him both and make her happy. I'm just messing, obviously. Just disclaimer: Tim is always half full of shit. Okay, thanks. I should get a banner for that.
There you go.
Yeah, I would keep him, obviously, for all the reasons that we said, and the fact that yes, we have not been linked with the club that is offering, close to what we should, or it would be acceptable for us to get rid of him. I mean, I don't care about what his wages are. I care about, 27 million is way too low. I mean, for what we paid for him, I would. I don't know. I think we could find use for him, and especially with our club knowing injuries and everything else. Who's to say Bowen or Fornals or whoever is going to play 38 games for us next season, which is also the reason why I complained about not going after another goalkeeper. But because you got to think about injuries. You got to think about what happens to us every fucking time someone gets hurt. We're not prepared. We don't have a backup plan, and we lose games because of it. Because someone's either in the wrong position or someone just sucks, But again, that's just my opinion. All right. There's another one coming up. Oh, yeah. So there's like 6 or 7 different articles here about West Ham fans reacting to the nightmare start as the club faced 6 of the top 8 clubs. I'm sorry. They faced what the fuck does this say? English, Tim. West Ham fans react to nightmare start as club face 6 of the top 8 in opening fixtures. There we go. Fucking A. Right. So, Lee and I have been going back and forth on this and discussing this on. We're on the same page, but on Twitter today. I know Lee was saying that at least a lot of these are away, and it's not as scary going to the Emirates or even Tottenham or whatever, or Liverpool or whatever, when there's no fucking fans there. So, a good time for these fixtures, or?
Yeah, I thought that was a good point. I saw that Lee made that on Twitter, and I thought that was a good point that we get to play them when the stadium factor is less important, So, I mean, but it is a rough start for sure. I think
I mentioned the October looks like the group of death.
Yeah.
You got fucking Leicester, Tottenham, Liverpool, and I forgot somebody else that was nasty. Oh, Man City. Oh.
Man City, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Charlie.
I'm looking up the fixtures now because I didn't see them, Timothy. I can't lie to you. So while I look that up, just in the meantime, Tim, I'd like to ask you what your thoughts on jam are, please. Can I get your thoughts on jam while I just quickly go to the West Ham website? Jam.
Jam and toast, sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What kind of strawberry or raspberry?
Strawberry or raspberry. Strawberry or grape for me, man.
Or grape.
Yeah, grape.
That's a wild. Wally, what's your thoughts on jam?
Well, we have this thing here called apple butter, which
Okay.
I don't know if you all have, but
Never heard of it.
it's okay. So you've heard of it, Tim, right? That's a New England thing, apple butter.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's kind of like an apple-y jam, but infused with butter. So, what could be better? So that's what I go for is apple butter.
It's fair. I respect that.
Yeah.
Respect that. It's a tough start, isn't it? It's a difficult one, isn't it? I think there's something to be said from what I saw Tom say in the chat a minute ago about the idea of you've got to play them eventually anyway, so you might as well get them out of the way early. I do think there is something to be said about that. I often go back and forth in my head about what I think the right structure of playing games is. Like, do I want to have like a big group like this where you just get all the best, most difficult games out of the way in a row and then go on to play like lesser ones where you can bat them all and back? Or do you want like 3 easy games, 1 hard one, 3 easy, 1 hard? I always go back and forth on this. And I think at the moment I look at it and I think, well, almost having that many hard games can put adversity in your way, because the way Moyes plays, that's a really stupid thing I've said, but I'll back it up, I promise. The way Moyes plays, the way his system is, it's set up for those teams, right? So you look at, say, the first game is Newcastle, right? We are going to play the exact same football against Newcastle as we will against Tottenham away. We just will. That's a fact. That's just the way Moyes plays, right? He picks the same people, he picks the same formation, he picks the same tactics, bang, bang, bang. So actually, having the bunch of teams like that in a row where that's the one where it's going to be most effective for, and kind of what the system is built for, might give us a situation in which we are finally together. Because if Moyes is picking the exact set of players for all of these, which he probably will, it might give us some momentum with those people because they're going to have to raise their game. They can't, there's going to be no situation against Man City or Tottenham or whatever where they're able to sit back and go, okay, right, we've done quite well. Like you could against the Norwich or whatever. They're going to have to be on it. So it might actually come a situation where come November, where we rock up to Fulham or Sheffield United or Aston Villa or whoever, we might be, all of a sudden, we might be a team who are primed and ready to actually batter some people.
Yeah.
Now, this is obviously kind of rose-tinted glasses thinking, I think
that we'll be better off with the harder games in October than we will in September. I think it's going to take a little bit for us to get back into it. I think the Newcastle, especially finishing off September with Wolves, or Wolves is in there too, and that's always a tricky fixture for us. But I think we'll do better. I mean, I think that once we start to find a fucking rhythm. And yes, I'm going to pull this up here. Reese makes a point that they're supposedly going to start allowing some fans back in. I think they're going to try to do it in phases, I guess. But starting in October, they're talking about it. I don't know if it's really going to happen or not. But even if it did, that would be the earliest. If that does happen, it's not going to be even close to full capacity. So again, that ain't going to mean shit. I mean, you're going to Liverpool, with fucking 15,000 fans versus 50 or whatever. Whatever it is. I still think that it will not play a factor. I think what's going to play a factor is how we're playing and how, our momentum. And yes, if we get through October and we get the easier fixtures ahead, I think that we'll be used to playing such difficult football. And I think that we'll probably find our rhythm that, we'll fucking go on a tear, hopefully after that. That would be the logic. But again, West Ham's illogical, so we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting and fun.
I tell you what I am concerned about though with the fixtures and this sort of thing is our preseason. I don't know who we're facing in preseason, but especially seeing as we're staying in this country in Scotland and that, I suspect we're facing easier sides than we are facing tougher sides. I'm concerned again, David Moyes is going to play the exact same side of football, defensive first, sitting back and then sort of countering football. We saw against teams who sit back and do that sort of stuff, which a lesser side would do against us, that they're not good. It doesn't work as well. I'm a little bit concerned about the idea of us playing all of these preseason fixtures with no real challenging opponents, not super challenging opponents, that when it does come go time, and we might need some, that first game against, was it Newcastle? Let me click again. Yeah, Newcastle. When it comes to go time, we might not be fully ready. We might not be fully at the races because we're sort of a bit lackadaisical. I don't know whether that's going to play out or not. That's just something that's been on my mind looking at that list and thinking about David Moyes' boring football.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think Moyes is going to, certainly with that tough start, he's going to, be sort of very defensive, very, hopefully organized, defensive, trying for draws and stuff. So, but, I think maybe you're right. We'll be well trained by the, time November comes around and we get easier matches, and we might actually do pretty good then.
And this will lead us into the next topic. With Kevin Nolan and now Stuart Pearce on the bench, in the first team coaches, I don't think they're going to let our players lie down in October. I mean, I think they'll most likely have them up for the fight, even if Moyes can't get the boys up and ready. I think that having Kevin Nolan number 2, Stuart Pearce, I think that should definitely help keep the men, pumped up and motivated, because those dudes are, even though they hadn't been there together at the same time, we're always, you can see they're vocal on the sidelines. They're very up. They aren't rarely sitting down like fucking Neil McDonald used to do. They get their asses up, and they're in there. They're in David Moyes' ear. They're in the players' ear. They're very, very, very helpful. But anyway, Stuart Pearce is back. And the funny thing is about the Stuart Pearce being back, I copied and pasted his quote. There was a quote in there, and I forgot the goddamn quote. I don't know what happened to it. Let me pull this off for a second here. He said something to the effect of, yes, blah, 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 blah. I'm so grateful that the owners have let me back. And I've had long and lengthy discussions with Karen and Mr. Sullivan, and things are looking great and rosy and fantastic, blah, 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 blah. Like, basically, really bizarre that quote came out. If you look at it was from the official website even. It was his quote being back, and the whole going back to, he wasn't allowed back because he said some bullshit about not seeing them ever. Never seeing face to face Mr. Sullivan or the Countess, whatever.
Karen Brady.
Yeah, Countess. Sorry, my accent's rough, but you know what I'm saying. It was like he had who's bending over for that comment. Is my point. Like, was the quote like Stuart had to say that? Or was it like, the owners are like, please, say something nice about us, or we'll let you back because, Moyes isn't happy without you. And I don't know. What are your thoughts on Stuart Pearce being back and all that other bullshit I just ranted on? Charlie.
Very happy that he's back. Well, I would be happy that he was back apart from that comment. If I'm being honest, like, it's a bit, I don't know, the thing you read, the quote, the sort of that article thing, like, it's like a bit, it screams David Moyes not having any other options, so he comes back to West Ham United, It's like, I've spoken to them and they're nice people, and I don't have any problems with them. I swear they're going to give me money now. It's going to be all good. It's going to be calm. It's like, I like him as a person. He seems to be a good coach. He's obviously got a lot of experience, so I'm very happy to see him at the club in that sense. I would rather he didn't put out an article being like, do you know what? I really like David Sullivan. He's a nice bloke, I promise. He invited me round for dinner. His wife made a lasagna. It was quality. Like, I just wish that sort of didn't exist a little bit, because it's a bit like, But to see him is a good thing. I'm happy with that, because I do think he is a good coach.
Well, I don't know how good of a coach he is. I just know that he's a great motivator, first and foremost. Sure. He's super pumped up all the time. And you can tell he gives a shit, no matter what, even when he was struggling as a manager or whatever. He always gave a shit about what he was doing. And then even as a player, you could tell that he gave a shit. And that's what I love. And that's what I love about Kevin Nolan. You could tell that they're passionate about what they do. Now, he hasn't had the greatest record as a manager either, but he's not managing this club. But I don't really know what his deal is as a coach. And I really don't think it matters as much as like his motivating skills. I'm trying to find this goddamn quote because it's fucking hilarious, man. If I can find the goddamn thing. What are your thoughts, Wally, while I look this up?
Yeah, if he can, it's good to have a motivator, and I think Anderson really needs somebody to like motivate him. I don't know what he needs, but I think, I've said this before. I think when he was playing with Arnie, and Arnie would always be like floating up his arms at him if he didn't give Arnie the perfect pass. And I thought that was holding him back. But, now that we've had a season of Anderson without Arnie, and he's not, I mean, I know he's tracking back a lot on defense, but, now I've changed my mind. I think he needs somebody to like push him really hard. And maybe Stuart Pearce can do that, because I don't honestly, I don't see like Allaire doing that to him. I don't really see Antonio. He's like a really nice guy, hardworking, great example, but he's not the kind that's like, come on. So, and even like Noble doesn't necessarily do that either. So maybe Stuart Pearce can, get Anderson cracking again.
Yeah. And others. I mean, there's others too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the younger ones, like, I think the younger ones, especially like Diangana, that everybody's raving about. I think he needs a,
oh, right.
He needs a swift kick in the ass when it comes down to being, I mean, how do I put it? He had a great season in championship when he wasn't injured. Okay, but this is the big boys now. And like, I think he needs to get fucking hazed or something like that by Pierce and Nolan or something. But anyway, the quote was, this is Stuart Pearce's quote: "I've spoken directly with David Sullivan and Karen Brady, and I had extremely positive conversations with them both. They were enthusiastic about me returning. It says a lot about them that I'm at West Ham again." That kind of just fucking rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. It kind of felt like, why did he have to say that? Like who fucking told him to say that? He says, I wouldn't be back if I didn't believe in the strategy of the club, the board, and the manager have put in place to take this great football club forward. I thoroughly enjoyed my time at the club on both previous occasions, and I can't wait to get started again. But it was the whole, I've spoken with them directly, which was the exact opposite. I mean, that was the quote that, the reason why he wasn't able to come back this season with us. It was, I've never even met them, one of those deals. And those two in particular. Now he's like, oh no, yeah, hey, look. First and foremost, I spoke with them directly. Those two, not Gold. I mean, I spoke with those two directly. That just fucking rubs me the wrong way. I don't know. Maybe I'm just fucking crazy. Whatever.
No, I agree with you. I do agree with you. I just think it's very much like these people are going to be paying my wages now, so I should say something nice about them. And like, it's kind of a bit. What's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for that I'm allowed to say on YouTube about demonetization happening? He's a pussy. He's a pussy, Tim, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, again, I'm excited to have him back. Does anybody in the chat, anybody have anything you want us to discuss? Because the more I go through this damn news list here, I'm noticing that it's just the same fucking shit over and over again. Okay, and there's another one. Okay, West Ham could have a lethal strike duo, and it would only cost David Moyes £20 million. Who the fuck is it here? Oh, you fucking clickbait, fucking son of a bitch. Jovic, they're talking about it. £20 million is bullshit. No. Okay, what is his name? Ollie Watkins. Sorry, Ollie Watkins. Anybody?
I'm concerned, Tim, about our strikers. I want to put that out there. I'm concerned that we sold a Yeti. See, here's the thing, right? If you look at a Yeti and Haller, I would have been like that. A Yeti could replace Jovic, right? I don't think he's as good as Jovic. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying anything like that. But you look at, you think, okay, well, you could make a system work with those two, get them bouncing off each other, whatever. And we didn't do it, okay, and that's fine. But then, so a Yeti was sat there as this sort of third choice backup because Antonio was ahead of him for whatever reasons, and now he's gone for 4.5 million.
Ridiculous.
Okay, that's a bit less. But now and then this Norwich thing with my boy is coming out, and they're like, "Oh, that's 2 million. 2 million for my boy." Now, I'm not putting it out there just because it's Jordan Hugill for a second, right? But what I would say is this: if you are selling a Yeti and you're selling Hugill for a combined of whatever those numbers come together are, I used to be an accountant. Give me a second, 6.5 million. There we go. right? If you're putting, but even if he sells for 5, which is the other big number, that's the bigger number, 5. So let's take that 9.5 million. Guess what 9.5 million gets you? A Yeti or a Hugel, one of the two. Before, that's what we spent on them, and yet we're going to sell 2 and then buy 1. Whereas before, I would have said, you know what, we don't need to go near a striker this summer. I don't think we need to. I think we should have gone for flipping. I think we should have gone for fullbacks and maybe a centre back and definitely a defensive midfielder. That's it. I didn't want to go near anything else. I didn't even want to touch the striker position. But now we've got rid of the only 2. Like Antonio, I wouldn't class as a recognised striker. He's a striker, but whatever, it is what it is. We've got 1 recognised senior striker at the club if Hugo goes. 1. And that's Sebastian Haller. So now all of a sudden, we've got to go and get a striker. And the only money we've got, because apparently we need to sell to make money to actually buy people, is the 4.5 million from a Yeti and the max 5 million from Hugo, which won't be 5 million because the board are terrible, which gets you one of those players. So what's the point in selling them in the first place? It makes 0 sense. It's just getting rid of players for getting rid of players' sake. You're not actually increasing anything. And again, this is just if the idea of us having no money is true, which again, I do not believe, because we know for a fact they keep saying this, and then all of a sudden there's a bit of pressure on them and they go, oh, here's 20, here's go buy Souček and Bowen, yeah, there's money, guys. All of a sudden it's bollocks, but it just makes no sense. It's stupidity, bro. It's stupidity.
Okay, so just ask anybody in this fucking chat room, especially Ray and Becky and everybody else there. We how do I put it? Moyes doesn't and will never play Antonio as a winger, which is his position. That's his striker. That's his 4-goal striker. He doesn't need Haller. I mean, or he doesn't need a Yeti or a Hugel. He's got Antonio as his striker, dude. That's his main bro. That's his main man. You know?
I'll give how do I word this? I will chat absolute bollocks about Moyes all day, all night. You know I will. I'll diss the guy until the cows come home. He went and delivered some vegetables. Maybe he should stay doing that and not be a football manager because he's probably better at it. But what I will say is that he cannot be so deluded that he thinks Antonio is not going to get injured. He can't. He can't. And then you look at and I know people will bring up Silva, Ray brought up Silva, for example. He's a youth player and he's not even an out striker. And he's just come back from, did he have cancer? Like, what was it? It was something really bad. I don't know. I just think it's absolutely insane to have 1 recognised senior striker at the club, especially when flipping the season before, we sold Carroll, Hernandez, Arnie, all of these strikers. Yeah. It was 4. I can't remember. Perez was the 4th, right? We got rid of 4 strikers, and then we only brought in 2. And then we're like, crap, this is a problem. We need to play Antonio up front. And then we're going to get rid of more and then bring in less again? Where's the logic here? I don't understand. No,
because, again, I mean, and he'll never use Yarmolenko at his true position, which is striker. But, if it was me, I wouldn't be worrying about a striker just for the fact that we have, if we can keep our Haller. I mean, actually, you know what? Right. Fucking between Haller, Antonio, and freaking Yarmolenko, there no one can stay healthy. But so I guess you're right. I guess it depends on what kind of system he's playing. But
he generally only plays 1 striker, so
generally that's what. Yeah, that seems to be his go-to. I mean not when he was with Everton, though. Really? Sometimes, but he had 2 strikers for the most part there.
Did he? Okay.
Well, he sort of played a variation of a 4-4-2, but it was more like Tim Cahill was the second striker. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's more like a 4-4-1-1 or whatever you want to call it. Like,
that could be Bowen. Bowen could.
Yeah, but Bowen's a right winger. Stop trying to shove him into positions. He's not
because that's where fucking Antonio can go. You know what I mean? Like, that's where he belongs. I don't want to give anybody any opportunity to push Antonio to striker. I want him to be in that wing and stay there, or be our super sub, which is what he really is. You know, I'd rather see Yarmolenko start and fucking and Antonio be our super sub, because that's what I think he is. But
I agree with you. Antonio should be a super sub thing. I mean, mainly because his bloody calves can't take starting every single game. We've seen that for a fact. But I don't know.
Holy shit! Like, oh my god.
No, I'm shit. I'm really
83 minutes. So I'm like, oh my god, is he gonna sub him? He's gonna sub him. Oh shit! It's 87 minutes. Oh god, he's gonna fucking hurt himself. He's gonna pull a hamstring. Oh shit! But no, sure enough, he did okay.
I'm genuinely shocked.
After 12 minutes, the guy's got his hands on his knees. Right. He's doing this, but he fucking pushed through. I don't know how.
Yeah,
I don't know how. There was something else in here. I guess Foshizi wanted to talk about. I can't pull it up because the comments are too far back. He wanted to talk about season ticket renewals. I have no say because here I am, and same thing with Wally. But Charlie, what are your thoughts on season ticket renewals? There you go.
I found it. They're clearly not going very well because if I open up my bloody phone, I don't know if you can see that, I've got a text from the club saying, "Come on, renew your season ticket, Charlie, please. We need the money." The answer to them is no. I'm not renewing my season ticket. They can do one.
Well, how does it work? Do we know how it's going to work? Like,
so you have a couple of options. And the main two,
is it 3 or 4?
There's 3 options. There's 3 options, but the 2 important ones essentially are when you're renewing, you either renew for the price that it would be regardless, as if you were going to attend every single game, and then they will start doing all this pro rata, blah, 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 whatever, all this nonsense, right? Or you can pay for a 30% season ticket, and then you only get specific games, you get specific chances to this, there's like a ballot and all of this to try and get into, like, it's like hedging your bets. You still give them some money to be able to go into a ballot and to hedge your bets, but you don't get the full thing, right? Look, I've not renewed my season ticket. I won't be renewing my season ticket. I've spoken to like Rebecca and Tom and stuff about this. I'm not going back to that goddamn club until GSB sort their lives out. Like, I'm not giving them another cent, be it kits, be it ticket prices, be it season tickets, anything like that, because it's insane. But just the fact this is the price they pay for having such a terrible thing. Like, realistically, I know obviously a season ticket for yourself, Tim, or yourself, Wally, isn't really a possibility at this stage. It wouldn't be usually in a non-COVID world. Yeah, here we are, so it's definitely not happening now. But I understand that. But you two follow the club like religiously, right? More, like, even more so than I do. You two knew the flipping fixture list and I didn't, right? That shows how much you follow it more than I do. Yet the fact that you just don't know exactly what their response is with the ticket situation, this is what that sows. If you make something confusing and ridiculous and stupid, people aren't going to go into it willy-nilly. If they had come out originally, and I'm sure other people have said this, I'm certain Gio said it on a video. I haven't watched any of his videos recently, so I can't say for certain, but he's told me on the phone, therefore he's probably done a bloody video about it. But in reality, if they had come out and just been honest and said, look, the club is skint, we're in big financial trouble because of the Rona and because of everything else, like, we're going to put the season tickets out. If you pay for it, it's like a goodwill thing. We're going to try and get you into games the second we can, blah, blah, blah. If they came out and made a really honest plea to fans and just said, look, this is the situation we're at, then I think they probably would have had a hell of a better take-up rate than they've had now. I don't know what the exact figure is. I saw some people saying 45% of season ticket renewals in the chat and stuff. I don't know what the take-up is, but I can guarantee you now, if they were actually honest and approached this in a clear and concise way, as opposed to, there's these 3 different options, and then we'll do this and that and the other, and blah, 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 it comes across as a money grab. It comes across as a money grab, and all it does is just lower the trust, which already does not exist in the club. And that's why they're going to have these problems. And that's why I'm probably, when's the season? September the 11th is the season renewal date. Don't know if you can see my phone, but that's what it says. I'm probably going to get more text between now and then because I don't suspect it's going to go up by much.
Yeah, I know we had Jazz on recently mentioning that he was going to do it. I think I came up with option. He said, I don't know if it was 2 or 3. I know it wasn't option 1. But yeah, it's. Listen, I feel bad for Kieran. You know, Kieran here in the chat room. I don't know what I would do if West Ham planned on doing a preseason over here in my country, in driving distance, pretty much in my own hometown, which is what was going to happen to him. And then all of a sudden, the COVID shit hits, and then that ain't happening anymore. Poor guy. You know, when's the next time they're going to go to fucking Australia? You know, in Brisbane, which is where he's from. You know, that's a bummer, dude. You know, sorry. But you know, even when they fucking came here, they didn't come close to me. You know, they came like well over 1,000 miles. Maybe
North Carolina,
and then Seattle.
Seattle, that's.
I'm in the opposite. You know,
England is closer than Seattle for you.
Shit, I know, seriously. The flight's the same pretty much, but man, sorry about that. So what the fuck does Steve say? Shit. If more than 30%, take option 3, and we'll wait till 70% come back. Yeah, Reese says he did renew his season ticket for the women's team, who were actually starting earlier than the men against Tottenham, their first match. And also, when the season starts, hopefully Reese and Allie will be back on the network doing their show because I loved it. And,
yeah, that would be great. I know they've got some new players in the women's team. I'd love to hear what they think. Yeah.
I mean, they did a whole rebuild. You know, all the Americans are freaking gone.
Right.
As far as I know, that sucks. But it was just funny because I'll notice from time to time people like for anyone who cares, Brooke Hendricks, who we've had on the show. I guess Lee was there and interviewed her with Allie and Justin. She was American, and even though she's not at the club anymore, she likes our posts. You know,
really?
still, yeah, it's kind of cool to see that they still care because it's just like the relationships that we make when doing the show with people all over the world. It's kind of cool.
Well,
also,
she's playing for the Washington Spirit.
Washington Spirit.
Well, I'm thinking about if they ever have games again, or when they do, I think I might zip down there.
Exactly. And and I don't know where Erin Simon went, but I know Brooke,
she went to Houston.
She went to Houston. Brooke, not Brooke. Brie Vasali.
Brianna Vasali went to Houston as well.
Went to Houston as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Who ended up going to Birmingham after West Ham, but
right.
Still a hammer. Anyway, listen to everybody. Anything else anyone wants to talk about? Charlie, besides food?
Hey, listen, we can never have enough food talk. I think the chat will agree, apart from Steve. But let's not listen to Steve because it's my time now. No, not really. I'm just frustrated. I'm not frustrated. I'm just do you know what? Honestly, if anyone's never done it, just take some time off social media. Just stop. It seems counterintuitive, but I promise you, if you stop following the club for a while, you'll remember why you like the club in the first place. Because that's what I'm feeling right now. I've sort of taken a bit of a step back, and now I just go, do you know what? Football's all right, innit? I can, when it comes back, I'll be happy instead of like the stress I know certain people go through. Pardon? Subbing it.
What do you supplement it with?
Do you know what? At the moment, I listen to a couple of podcasts here and there, not about West Ham. The only West Ham videos I watch are the people who I know are on. So if like yourself or Wally do a show, or Rebecca does a show, or Tom or whatever, then I'll watch that. But even then, I don't watch all of them. I just play a bit of PS4, do some other stuff. It's nice. I've got back into PES a bit. It's just nice. It's just nice. It's nice not having the stress of being like, oh my God, we've not signed this player yet. We've not done that yet. What's this? What's that? It's just quite nice.
And seriously, like anybody in the chat room, if you're still with us, feel free to let us know how you guys have been doing and what you've been doing since the season ended, or even just how you guys. What are you up to? Like, what else do you do to supplement your time?
I have to say, since the schedule came out this morning, now I'm suddenly like excited. And I'm even thinking, gee, when can we go over and go to a match? I know. I
was looking at that. I'm like, maybe March. Maybe
March. Okay.
They let people in.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of cool to see Leeds at home.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I would be up for that. Even though I hate that overnight flight going over there, but I got excited enough to even like get over that hurdle of thinking, but I have to take that overnight flight. But so anyway, I'm excited, to be honest.
I've been supplementing my time with horror movies, and because I love it, obviously, but it makes me just realize that even though I'm a West Ham supporter, it's a lot better than being one of the victims in these horror movies.
I mean,
I could get my head splattered, or
they don't have to deal with GSB. They don't have to deal with GSB.
That would make a great horror movie, man.
That would make a great horror movie.
Baroness and the two Davids. Oh,
yeah,
give me an idea, dude.
There you go. Write it. Get it done.
Anyway, I don't know what's going on tomorrow night. I know we were going to have our Trading Irons show, which has been filling in our Friday nights, but they're going to be doing Sunday. I know Steve Mothersoul wants to do something sometime soon. He loves to. I'm glad to have him back doing shows. It's really cool.
He's great.
And what else we got going on? Jesus Christ, I don't even know. I think I'll probably be back on Tuesday if Ray gets his life sorted out, because we were supposed to do a show Tuesday, and he was going to be on tonight. But yeah, I'd like to do. I love doing the show and not hosting it sometimes. I really like that a lot. With the exception of tonight. So tonight I handpicked my boys, to
All
be
right.
to, make it easy, make it fun.
Okay.
Yeah. So AHTV,
I'm flattered.
when do you plan on doing that? Anyway, we'll talk. But
Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, we got tons of shows coming up. There's going to be shows every single week until the season starts. But once the season starts, it's going to get a little hectic. There's going to be lots of different shows. So even if you don't like Hammer Shots, you might like Friday Night Lights. If you don't like one, you might like the other. Whatever, just stay tuned. And the best thing to do would be subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe to the channel or you follow us on social media, especially our Facebook page, you get notified when we do live videos. Because most of our videos, pretty much almost all of them, except the Columbus E13's videos, we're all live. So it's better to join us live because you can interact with us and we can pull up your, we can pull up your comments like this and say, hey, what's going on?
Or even come on the show. I mean, get some new people on the show. It's great fun. I would, honestly,
the same old faces there, Wally.
Yeah, I know.
No, trust me. I've yeah. So anyone who wants to be a guest on our shows, any of them, especially game shows, but any of our regular shows like this, you want to fill in the gaps here. We can have technically now up to 10 people, but no, we'll probably do I think most we do is 6 at once. But if you want to join the chat with us, I promise you, after you do it, if you've never done it before, that's when you realize how fun it was and you want to do it again. There's a lot of people who are just, crap, I don't want to do it. I'm so used to doing Zoom meetings at work or whatever the case may be. This is different. This is fun. We talk about West Ham. We get to bitch together and whine, moan, and be happy together, whatever. So if you want to do the shows, let us know. We answer all of our social media accounts messages. So just message us. And also, if you have any ideas, you want to host a show, just get in touch with me. That's all. But I think we're going to call it a night. I think we're almost at an hour. But anyway, thank you so much. And subscribe and you'll find out when the next show is. How about that? All right. So I'll talk to you guys off the air. And for everyone else, stay safe. Come on, yours.
Yeah, Irons.